Hello, welcome back everyone. Now in this session, we are going to discuss about an interesting question that has been asked in the Accenture for the role of data analytics. The question statement says that we need to generate an alphabetical series starting from A till N in a sequential order. Might be you have seen this kind of question in any other programming languages, just like C++, Python or any other. And you have seen this kind of question but in a different context, like generating a number series starting from 1 to n in the SQL server. But might be this question very new for you, so please try to solve by yourself. Kindly pause this video and please try to understand that how can we solve that. Please try to recap my all of this video about CTE, recursive CTE, self-join temporary table, and try to solve by yourself. After that, we both will try to solve this question parallelly and learn something new, insightful from this session. Let's try to solve this problem. So what we want to generate an alphabetical series starting from A till D in a sequential order. So for that, we need to introduce a concept of loops. But in the SQL server, we can't use that. We use that, but it will be a little bit trickier one. So to solve this problem, we're going to introduce a concept known as recursive CTE. How can we use a recursive CTE? We will learn this question. But before that, we need to generate an ASCII values or numerical values of each alphabetical character so that we can iterate over the loop. So as I've seen the ASCII values, what is ASCII values? Let's try to learn about this concept. If I'll pass select ASCII of value A, then what will be the ASCII values for this? The ASCII value for A will be 65. So, okay, let's try to understand the ASCII values of B, C and D too. Okay, now change this value to B and change this value to C and try to execute this query. The ASCII values are 65, 66 and 67. As you can see over the screen, the ASCII values are increasing by 1. So if anyhow we can just iterate over this loop and get the another ASCII values so that we can generate the alphabetical order. So if what will happen if I change their data type, like here we are representing the ASCII values, and what if I want to represent their char values, like char of all of these values, what will happen? Let's try to understand this also. Now if I'll pass the char values of ASCII values of A, now I will get A, B and C respectively. So we have understand the concept, like we need to do iteration over this ASCII values, and after that we will change the data type to the char values to generate the alphabetical series. So let's try, and now we are going to introduce the concept of CTE. CTE stand for common table expression. Okay, so what does this means? Just take this. If I'll copy and paste it over here, so this is a basic syntax of CTE. If you don't know about this concept, then please go to my last videos. In that I have explained everything about the CTEs. So if I'll pass with CTE, CTE stands for common table expression with CTEs, and I'm just closing this bracket, and if I'll do select star from CTE, if I'll call this again, then you can see over the screen I am getting an error. The error is we haven't specified the column name. So let's give the column name as letter and let's execute this. So you can see over the screen we are getting a column name is letter which contains the same values as ASCII 1, 67. But here what is the new thing about that? If I'll do union and if I'll pass the same stuff here like this and the column name is same letter, let's execute this. Now you can see that we are having two rows. One is for B and one is for C. Okay, so I have used this two queries in one queries with the help of CTE. So this is the basic concept of CTE. So what we are going to use here, we are going to use a recursive CTE. So let's copy and paste this query over here and try to solve this problem. Okay, so let's paste it over here. Okay, so this is the first step. So we can change this name to understand this question more clearly, like with first step as A. So we have changed the name of CTE as first step, nothing fancy. Okay, and we need to start a for loop with A. Okay, so here this is the basic, or we can say that this is the anchor query. Okay, so it will not change, or we can say that it is a static one. Okay, and in general terms of SQL Server and recursive CTE, we called it as an anchor query. Okay, so when I run this loop, so this one will remain static. It means that it will start from A, and the value for A is 67. Okay, now what I want to use, I want to use a recursive CTE. So I'll use union all. If you don't know the difference between union and union all, just put the comment. I'll try to publish a separate video for you describing the difference between union and union all. Okay, so here it will take the ASCII values as 67. Okay, and what I want, the loop should iterate. Okay, the loop should iterate till end. Okay, so let's change that. Okay, and just take the ASCII values of the latter. Okay, and what we want, this should iterate by 1, means first the value will be 67, then 68, and so on. Correct, but we don't want ASCII values, we want their character values, the char value respectively. So just change the data type. Okay, now this will work. Correct, and the loop should iterate over this, and we want the next value should also be a char value, not an ASCII values. So this will start from the anchor value of 66. It will take another value 67 and so on. Okay, but there's a one thing that the loop should over. Okay, so first of all we need to just pass the table name. Like here the value should take from this CT, the first step. Okay, now you can see that it is not showing any error. Okay, and this loop should add the where condition is like where first letter or first step should not be equals to D. Okay, and what we want to do, we want to call this CT first step. Okay, everything's clear. Here it is showing error. Why? Because the column name is letter. Okay, so I think so it is clear to you. I'm explaining it to you once more. What I did, first of all, let's execute this and see the output is coming correct or not. Yep, we are getting the alphabetical series starting from A until point D. So this query is known as static query or anchor query. So it will take the value of 66, and after that it will take another value plus 1. So the plus 1 value is 67 and so on. So this is a static part and this is a recursive part. Okay, recursive part. So this is the basic concept of recursive CTE, and a loop should, or the recursive CTE should end at the point of D. So here we have passed the condition. What if I'll pass the condition as G, then what will happen? Just think about that. We will get an alphabetical series starting from A until point G. Okay, I think that the question is clear to you, but there's one thing, like you can just try to generate an alphabetical series starting from A till point Z. Try to solve it by yourself. If you have any doubts, kindly push the comments. I'll try to reply as soon as possible. Okay, thank you everyone for watching this video. Have a great day ahead.